Updated October 27, 2017 01:0055. The managing editor of the New York Times says U.S. President Donald Trump has been good for the business of journalism. Joseph Kahn, who was appointed to the Times leadership team in 2016, is in Sydney to give the Andrew All Media Lecture on Friday. He told Lateline the demand for in-depth White House coverage had boosted global readership, but that the president also posed some challenges. The Trump presidency, how good has it been for the news business? The Trump presidency for the news business, literally the business, has been very good. For the news media industry, it's been a big challenge. But interest in the Trump presidency, enthusiasm for almost any kind of in-depth coverage of the Trump presidency has been a major tool of engagement for our readership, not just in the United States but everywhere around the world. We call it the Trump bump. It's been good for the business that we're in, which is basically a digital subscription business. He continues to pay dividends in that respect. Why he says Trump is a threat: has managed to portray the news media as his enemy and to do his best to undercut the credibility of the product that we produce with as many of his supporters as he possibly can. We think we'll see that through, but he's a frontal challenge to us. The two are really connected. The fact that he's taken on the news media industry as his enemy has in fact made the news media's coverage of the Trump presidency even more interesting to anybody who wants to understand his impact on the world. What is NYT doing about Trump's attacks on their credibility? Honestly, it sounds a little like a cliché, but we're just trying to do our jobs. You know, we're not going to pick a fight, a direct fight, with the President of the United States. It doesn't make any sense. Why won't NYT go to war with Trump? We're not an opposition media. We're not a partisan media. You know, we have an opinion section of the New York Times where we have staff editorials and we have columnists and op writers who take their own positions on the President of the United States, but the newsroom of the New York Times does not. And we're trying to cover both his presidency and his impact on the country and on the world, and the reasons that a number of Americans support him very strongly as a news story. Does he really think Trump poses a threat to journalism? I don't currently think Donald Trump has done anything to fundamentally to restrain our ability to do the kinds of journalism that we want to do. I don't think that he will succeed in doing that, but I don't think it would be smart of us to be complacent about that or not to take seriously the threat that he's made. The idea of calling the mainstream media, including the New York Times, including CNN and others, enemies of the people in the United States is extremely strong language. And we haven't had a president who's done that. American institutions, the courts, the Congress have not been tested with a true battle between the President of the United States and independent media. Topics: Journalism, Donald Trump, World Politics, Sydney 2000. First posted October 26, 2017. 221,815.